Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's video I'm here to give you 5 things which we learned from the game against Coventry. We beat them 1-0 at home, massive 3 points, and we put ourselves in a very good position in the championship table. We're out of the bottom 3, one more job to do, and that's go and beat West Brom. It sounds easy, doesn't it? 4 wins in a row we can make it. And we break a record which we haven't done in a very long time. The last time we won 4 games in a row was in the 1980s. So let's go and do that. Let's break that record. Matt Bloomfield has managed to get a response out of these group of players. 1 more game to go. Can we do it? And I'm sure we're going to do it the Luton way, which will be plenty more drama. But anyway, the game against Coventry. Before I tell you the 5 things, can we please smash the like button? It helps the video perform better. Also, drop me a comment as well on your thoughts on the game and any of the points which I speak about in today's video. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe for more Luton Town content and EFL as well. So, I might as well start by talking about the player that had an amazing game and also got himself sent off. And that's Walsh, because we don't know what to expect from him, do we? I thought he was amazing up until that sending off. He was running the show. The passing was amazing. The amount of key passing he was making throughout the match, progressing with the ball. He nearly scored. He hit the crossbar. Excellent save by the goalkeeper. Just got a fingertip to it. He's due a goal. Walsh, he really was due a goal, and he deserved a goal because his performance was amazing. And it wasn't just against Coventry. He was also amazing against Bristol City as well. He's been a very good player under Matt Bloomfield. One of the best players under Matt Bloomfield. And it's really frustrating because after having such a great performance, he lets himself down by getting sent off. He doesn't need to get involved. I know it's not a sending off. I do know that. And that push was definitely not needed. He doesn't need to get involved. I think it was Coventry's number 2 and also McGuinness, pushing each other. McGuinness is big enough. Walsh, you're a small man. Don't get involved. I know you love, yapping away to the players and winding them up. Just stay away. Just stay away because you were having such an amazing game, and I don't know what would have happened if he stayed on the pitch. I don't know if we would have made the game a lot easier. I don't know if we would have struggled, but you don't need to lose your head. You don't need to get involved with stuff like that, and it's a shame because I do think he was, having a great game. It was confirmed by Matt Bloomfield though. We are going to appeal the decision, and it's worth us doing because regardless of what happens from that appeal, he's going to miss next season's first couple of games regardless because he's picked up 3 red cards this year. So he gets given another game like suspension because he's picked up 3 red cards. So you might as well appeal it. And if the EFL, whoever looks at this sort of stuff, has any common sense, they will know that was not violent conduct. The number 2 from Coventry acted. And to be fair, he got his karma anyway because he couldn't clear that ball and he put the ball into the back of his own net following back to his shot. But yeah, hopefully they use a little bit of common sense and they, allow him to continue playing for us and he will be available for the game against West Brom. But I'm going to leave you with this question. Would you like to see him stay for next season, Walsh? Has he done enough for you in a Luton shirt? Yes, the suspensions, but under what he's done under Matt Bloomfield, would you like to see him stay next year? Let me know it down in the video comments. For me, yeah, I would like to see him stay, especially if he carries on these types of performances. And I think under Matt Bloomfield, the system he likes to play, I think Walsh will thrive. My second point in today's video is losing our heads. And yes, it does link to the first point because Walsh was not the only player to lose his head. And that was Isaiah Jones. You, my friend, are a lucky boy because if you connected, you would have been sent off and we would have gone down to 9 men, which would have been just, well, I couldn't really describe how I would have felt if he would have got sent off there. But what was he doing, Isaiah Jones? There's no need to react. Stay disciplined. These players need to learn this year. We've been absolutely terrible discipline-wise. It hasn't been great. Too many sending offs, too many fouls. Losing our heads far too quickly, especially at this very important stage in the season. There's no need to do it. You won the foul. Yes, he won it in a certain way. The player, it was a nasty foul. But you don't need to react like that. Stay disciplined, keep your head down and just carry on, because you were causing problems. Your pace was causing them problems. They didn't like it. So there's no need to lose our heads. And I do not want to be going to West Brom and I see one of our players lose their heads and make a stupid decision and get sent off and ruin it for us. Because imagine we get relegated at West Brom going down to 10 men because one of our players acted stupid. Stop. Remain calm. There's no need to panic. And yeah, just carry on. Stay disciplined. My third point which I wanted to make in today's video is talking about Luton against 10 men, because we haven't done well against 10 men in over 2 years. In fact, I read a stat somewhere that Luton have not won against 10 men in over 2 years, which I find absolutely crazy. Now, someone disagreed with my comment which I made in my match reaction on when you play against 10 men and any team that puts players behind the ball, you've got to move the ball quickly. Now, it's about finding the right balance in that. At times, you need to move the ball quickly, but if you move the ball slowly, it gives teams who put players behind the ball so much time to position themselves correctly, and they make life even more difficult. And I thought in the first half, in the second half, we were a lot better at doing it. We were moving the ball quickly. But in the first half in particular, we were taking that extra touch when we didn't really need to take that extra touch. Sometimes we needed to do like a first time cross or a first time shot, and that, can cause problems. Even if you do a first time cross and it deflects, it might deflect and go in, it might go out for a corner, it might deflect into a path of another player who can take advantage. Anything can happen if you do things quickly. Now, I'm not saying do it quickly every single time, because the players are going to tire themselves out. But the tempo, I felt, just was not quick enough in the first half. And realistically, how many chances did we have in the first half against 10 men? I can only think of the Morris chance that went just wide and the Asgard shot that, forced a save out of the goalkeeper. That's really it. I can't really think of any other chances. I might have bad memory here, but I can't think of any more. But you've got to move the ball quickly at times. Second half was a lot better, but hopefully in the future we do improve against 10 men. My fourth point which I wanted to make in today's video was talking about the great sub appearance by Baptiste. I've said a few bad things about him this season, and that's because I have been frustrated with just the lack of game time from himself and also the quality which he has shown. When he first signed for us, I was delighted. He was one player that I actually wanted Luton to sign, because for me, he does have quality. He has the potential to be a really good player in the Championship, one of the best midfielders in my opinion, because he has the quality, but we've just not seen it enough. We saw it in glimpses in the first part of the season where we weren't playing well. He did set up a couple of goals. He was part of the moves for those goals, but the injuries have been really annoying, and I know players don't want to get injured, and clearly whatever training plan we had for him and the recovery plan, it just wasn't working out. But under Matt Bloomfield, he's got a good record with getting players back to fitness, back fit from their injuries, so hopefully he can work his magic on Baptiste, and if he does, we've got a good player. Exact same with Walsh as well. Look at Walsh, for example. He's played these consecutive run of games for the first time in his career, and hopefully he can do that with Baptiste. But that goal yesterday will give him so much confidence, and hopefully he can take it into the next game against West Brom. It was a good sub appearance. I thought he did exactly what Walsh was doing. He was all over the place. The passing was there. He also nearly set up that goal towards the end. He put in a ball across the pitch, fell to Asgard. I felt he should have left it for Chong. He would have had a much better chance to shoot. But yeah, I thought it was a fantastic appearance. He got Sky's man of the match, which I thought was crazy in itself. But yeah, hopefully this is just the start of something we see from Baptiste. Of course, we're now not going to see it until next year, and he is going to be here next year because he's under contract. He's still got another 2 more years. So I don't see him leaving the football club. I don't think there'd be many clubs interested in him, especially if we potentially go to League One. So we're going to have to deal with him, and we need to figure out a way to get him back to his very best. And I do think under Matt Bloomfield, we'll do exactly that. And talking about Matt Bloomfield, that is going to be my 5th point, which I wanted to make. And just talk about really what a fantastic manager he is. After what he did for Thomas Kaminski by going to Belgium and then travelling back on the same day just to support him. Stuff like that. Players will run for a brick wall for you. That's fantastic man management skills. He's got a reaction out of these group of players. Yes, it's taken a bit of a while to do this. You can point fingers at the players themselves as well by not reacting and giving him a response quicker, especially in the first 8 games. And I do think we were a little bit unlucky in those first 8 games. We should have got a bit more points from those. But overall, I'm starting to really like Matt Bloomfield. I thought the subs yesterday were great. Cal Naismith coming on, Clark and Baptiste, they all had an impact and caused problems. Not the first time his subs have done well. Yes, against Blackburn, you can question mark the subs there. But there's been times this season his subs have worked. You look at, obviously, the game yesterday and also against Derby, also against, I'm trying to think of the club, which he did it against, Cardiff away from home. Those were fantastic subs there. So I think he is quite good at reading the game. He's going to get it wrong. He's going to get it right. Hopefully he gets it right more than wrong. But I'm really excited to see what he does next season, Matt Bloomfield. He is going to be our manager regardless of what happens. Hopefully we're not playing League One. Hopefully it will be in the Championship and we do the job next week. But I'm excited to see what Matt Bloomfield does. I trust him to make the right decisions in terms of keeping players who he wants to take to the next level with. And I trust the players he brings to the football club as well. So yeah, that is the end of today's video. That is 5 things which we learned from the game against Coventry. Walsh being an absolute nutter on the pitch and being, you just don't know what you're going to get with him. Losing our heads and remaining to be calm. How we play against 10 men. The goal which I hope Baptiste will now thrive in a Luton shirt. And 5, how excited we are under Matt Bloomfield and what he's doing with these group of players. So yeah, that is the end. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please smash that like button. Drop me a comment down below. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.